up, y'all? It's the Normies coming at you with a little bit of The Wire, Season 1, Episode 8, Lessons. And in this episode, we gonna learn. So we gonna learn today.
We're gonna learn today.
No, seriously, what did happen last
They
night?
got Bird. I remember that much. Remember?
Didn't Omar start? Doesn't Omar start helping them either? Helping like
Omar. Yes, he did.
They get to the point where they get one of the top hitmen, fucking
Bird.
I keep on forgetting the main dude's name, the main bad guy.
Oh, they stopped using
Avon Barksdale.
Yeah, Avon Barksdale comes down to the
Stringer.
fucking,
Also,
they stopped using all the payphones and stuff.
Yeah, two things. One, I want to give a shout out to our guy on Discord, Z, who totally agrees with you, Pat. He doesn't think it's fair that Omar works with the cops sometimes.
Yeah, so, I love you, boy.
I like it, boy. I mean,
Omar's still one of my favorite characters, and I literally feel like in the game, you got to do whatever you got to do to win. Like, literally, like, what does it do? Ruin his reputation? Mm-hmm. They already don't like him because he's gay, like, and he robs the drug dealer. So, I mean, I don't think he gives a fuck about his reputation.
Props to Omar. Props to Omar doing what he's doing right now. I'm not gonna lie. He's only doing it because, I mean, he could have done it without the help of the cops, obviously, and everything, but, like, that was just too deep.
Yeah,
I think
they tortured him too. Somebody online was saying that maybe because of the torture to his boy, that like it put what they did to him outside of the game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because usually it's just like, yeah, we shot him, but this guy, they chopped his eye out, fucking burned him with cigarettes, and like they tortured him. So
don't they torture in the game though? Like to get information like that. That's like isn't like I don't know. So like in the movies I see that shit. So like I feel like that's part of normal practice among gang
in the really
rivals.
shitty neighborhood I lived in, people were just murdered normally.
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people really have it in them for torture. I'm just
it's bullet wounds.
But like you see it.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so in the movies it's inaccurate when they do like when one person goes somewhere and then like they find somebody and they torture and try to find out, hey, where's the stash house or stuff like that. Like that's inaccurate.
No, I mean I'm sure that happens to a certain degree, but like for what they did to this kid, like I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, I think that when you're in the business and out there, if I'm wrong, fucking correct me, that like you're like, yeah, I can do a murder, but to be like, I'm gonna do a murder and a torture, I don't know, that's kind of some sick shit. Like I feel like people have the potential to kill each other pretty easily, but I think that like torturing people is kind of like a niche market.
I see both ways, because at the same time that was some new level shit. Like it was like, yo, you had to find the timing and all that to come hit our stash house. Like so, you were there with the dude.
So you try to find out the rest of the information. Like I kind of get why they were torturing. I don't agree with it, but I get it.
And then for them to put them out there, like to move them and put them just in the middle of, what I mean, of the towers like that, just struck up on the car.
So
also, our poor little Michael B. Jordan.
He's going through some shit.
He's going through some shit. I just wish, I know,
because he was complicit in a torture murder.
He was. I know we're saying, in this situations, you don't go to the cops, you don't do this. I wish, in these situations, too, the gang members listen to each other when one of the members are going through something, because
no therapy in the gang?
That ain't gangster. That ain't gangster.
Gang therapy.
You crying? That ain't gangster.
That ain't no thug shit.
Guys, this is not a market substitute. Make sure you support the OG content of your own. Also, feel free to support the Normies over on Patreon. Supporting us on Patreon means you get uncut, you get to watch ahead, and you get skits. So, baby, we're already on whatever episode we on now. We on a couple more 13, away from 14. That. We up there. I'm about to publish episode 2 today on YouTube, and we're watching episode 8. So, we're 6 episodes ahead right now.
Come on, y'all.
And with that being said, pull up the world clock. We're getting ready to go.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Number 6. Sean, shush.
I thought it was more. I was number 9.
Look, sweetie.
Yeah, who's it?
All black guys over there.
You're supposed to say African American. I'm the front, you're the follow.
The shit he exposes these children to, I'm just saying.
McNulty's kids are straight interns, bro.
They are, bro. Unpaid interns. Hey, but it's dope. At least you spend time with his kids.
That's hilarious.
You gotta keep in mind, too, he knows McNulty's face pretty well, so.
Bro, this is so dangerous for children. Are you serious? This is a gang member, basically.
Yeah, this is pretty bad. But on the flip side, there's a lot. He's spent time with his kids. Maybe he doesn't know how to spend time with his kids. I don't know.
Bro, he knows.
Stringer for sure.
Why is he listening to Lion King in a car?
Because he was rolling with the kids.
Playing them Disney hits in the car, baby. JLY28.
He has a crayon.
Hey man, these are straight interns. These are straight interns.
That big, about that big, and he's wearing
I was worried.
Will Michael and Sean McNulty please report to the offices at the rear of the market? Michael and Sean McNulty.
Wait, did they? Oh my
Bro,
god.
he a bad daddy.
Bro, he lost the kids at the store having them tail a convict.
You know he's literally about to be like, all right, now what are we going to tell your mom happened? Goddamn right. No snitching in the game. Don't tell her shit.
Right, now let's go get ice cream.
Sewer's got a headache. He'll be back next week.
Come at me, King. What?
If you come at the king, you bet not miss.
I'm like, come at me.
Oh
King.
shit, that's the best quote.
They came in fucking hot, bro.
What the fuck?
Whose house is trashing?
That's Omar's, right? Is that Omar's house or dude?
Mr. Omar, you want hands on this?
Nah, darling, I'm cool.
Like this baby's sitting right here next to a fucking fire needle. Get out of here.
I'm down the Northeast Market with the kids, right? Who should appear before me?
Market day for string 2.
No, he makes me if I get too close, so I put Sean and Michael on it. They're so fucking good, I lose track of them. Scared the shit out of myself. And Sean, my flesh and blood, gets the tag.
So proud.
They fucking love it. Play spy in the mall sometimes.
Nah, dude. The kids don't love it. You love it.
I don't know. They seem to have a bit of fun doing it. Like, he's raising Batman.
You can't just lay a bean. He been asking about shit. So what?
Fuck on taxes, fuck me, fuck all that shit. Just let me hold $10 and I give it back to you by Friday.
How?
You ain't working.
You work in the ground stash. 20 tall pinks. 2 fiends come up to you and ask for 2 each. Another one cops 3. Then Bodie hands you off 10 more. But some white guy rolls up in the car, waves you down and pays for 8. How many dollars you got left?
15.
How the fuck you able to keep the count right? You're not able to do the book properly.
Count me wrong and fuck you up.
Man, that's fucked up, bro.
That is so fucked up. That was the hardest line of the show right there.
It's practical math, man.
Yeah, you knew it.
Fucking Rockaware.
Man.
Love the clothes. About to buy me a Rockaware shirt on fucking eBay, bro.
You should find one or like a FUBU.
I'm gonna come in here with a whole Sean John outfit on.
Hang back.
I wanted to say kangaroo.
See where it goes.
All right, we gotta leave.
Yeah, I've been talking to Orlando, right? Said he got this good coke connect from New Orleans.
Orlando, huh?
You know, a little extra on the side.
I don't know, D. You better talk to your uncle about that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, we gonna break out tonight, Daddy. Bring some of Orlando's good pussy over there by Little Man.
You up there? You up?
Yeah.
Hey, you got it.
Oh my god.
That's twice.
Fuck, bro. Every time I eat one of these fucking Lake Trout sandwiches, I'll be fiending.
Man, I don't know how he doesn't know that like bringing Orlando's Coke on the at the pit is like competition still, bro.
Yeah, right? Does he not get that?
Like, bruh.
Step out of the car, sir.
What'd I do?
Step out of the car.
Oh, this one guy who robs shit. Or we're talking about robbery.
Sir, you were observed in one of the city's designated drug-free anti-loitering zones, where a drug suspect leaned into your vehicle handling yourself. You were leaning over as if attempting to conceal something beneath the passenger side seat.
Come on now, look, enough of this shit now. Come on.
Is there something beneath that seat, sir?
Nah, no.
You don't mind if we take a look, right?
No.
This is some bullshit.
You gotta say no.
Like, look how big that bag is.
That's none of your business right now, right?
How about if I make it my business, huh?
So hold up. Are there really drug-free zones somewhere like that? They just see you in that zone, they can just pull you over and just search your car like that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're sus, yeah.
If they say they got probable cause because they saw you leave in a drug area where a known drug dealer leaned into your car, then they suspect that you have drugs, and that's probable cause enough for probably for them to pull you over.
Damn.
We thought we were gonna come up with drugs. Got money instead.
I know this guy.
Bet a fundraiser last week.
Keep the cash. Write him a receipt. He wants to put a claim in with the city solicitor, he can. But they're gonna ask him where he got the pile.
What the fuck? This is great.
Stop. This fucking silky ass motherfucker.
How you doing?
Me? Yeah, they better fuck Orlando up.
They gonna fuck Orlando up, you're right. And they're gonna fuck Didi up for thinking that way too.
Listen, the last fucking thing I need is for the clean name on my liquor license. Dirty the fuck up by you. You understand that, right? Come on, man.
Strangle is shitty.
See, to me now he's a liability. I would kill him and hire somebody else now.
You brought him in here. On what charge?
Civil forfeiture.
Fucking
Until he tells us a legitimate source for that money, we keep him.
So you have no criminal charge.
Civil forfeiture, some bullshit.
From a sus
Civil forfeiture is
place.
bullshit.
No, he came from a sus place.
If the cops
Yeah, but you don't have to disclose where you got your money. How about if you got your money from a dead grandma or some shit like that? Why do you gotta tell somebody that?
Yeah.
That's fucked.
It's fucked, but it's...
It's drug money in that car.
Give him back his money. I'm shutting this down, Lieutenant. Charge what you can, and you do it by the end of the week.
It's because they fucked
Yeah,
around.
fuck this guy too.
I feel like he's dirty.
You shit all over yourself, all over me, all over this department.
Woo-hoo!
Now, I told you, no surprises. Remember?
He's a hater.
How the fuck am I supposed to know this is a surprise?
Bro, he's a senator's aide. That's why, like, I do think it's fucked up the cops can pull you over and take that money.
What the fuck is this driver doing coming out of the high-rises carrying that kind of money?
That's what I told the deputy.
Yeah, what did he say? We should mind our own business?
Pretty much. Except he said a few things for my benefit, too. Like how I had shit all over him. Like how he was shutting us down the end of this week.
The fuck he is.
I go past Friday and I'm buried. He told me that.
He's gonna bury you for what? You're doing your fucking job.
Exactly.
Chain of command, Detective. That's all I got from the deputy today. Chain of command? Was he telling Major about the senator's driver? Did he tell the colonel? Then where's your fucking chain of command? What's the shift lieutenant doing? Going up the back stairs to the deputy ops. What are you saying? Nothing.
Ooh.
Why, you got something on you?
Ooh.
Say you got the deputy's here. What the fuck's he got on you? Only rank, Detective.
Good.
That's some good writing right there.
That's a rape.
Yeah, that's a rape.
But no, that's serious.
Yeah, it's most likely.
That's non-consensual sex,
That's
guys.
not
Don't do that.
alright. She needs to throw up.
Oh, I mean, she also flopped on that bed like a
I
person
know, that's
who's
what I'm
passed
saying.
out.
Leave her alone. She's like sick, obviously. Like.
That son of a bitch McNulty asked me what the deputy had on me.
What'd you say?
Damn.
What they got on this man?
Right.
Oh my god, that girl's probably dead. Bro, that girl's dead.
Fuck this Sally.
Yeah, she OD'd. She dead.
Not an expert, but I'm pretty sure you fucked a dead bitch.
Yeah, this is necrophilia.
That's not funny.
It's
Very
It's not very disgusting.
Yo, Bay.
I'm gonna go home and cry about this.
Memo signed by the deputy officer Rawls, of course, telling us to pack it in and come home.
Why are they doing this?
Well, we picked up a bag man coming out of the high-rises carrying 20 grand in cash yesterday. He works for Clay Davis.
Of the 39th Legislative District.
What can Daniels do?
The deputy chewed his ass out and sent him the same direct order you have on your desk right there.
Every barrel on the line.
Woo! Look at her. She's becoming a little McNulty.
He gave us the wire.
For how long, Detective McNulty?
60 days now.
And how long have you monitored these phone extensions?
40 days, maybe?
Deputy Burrell's on the line.
Oh my
20
god.
days.
The circuit court signed 2 orders for a total of 60 days of telephonic surveillance. I'm looking at a copy of a memo from your office telling me I can't have my 60 days. If you take this wire down on Friday, you'll be in contempt of court on Monday.
Oh my god.
Fucking
Let's
heat.
go.
And all the best to Arlene and the kids.
Ah, you're a bitch.
Get his shit done.
That was beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Oh my
Dude,
god, I love it.
I love it when they get on this hierarchy bullshit and just rain down fucking shit
I hate
on
that
whoever.
hierarchy bullshit. You never get shit done with that shit.
Pat, you're right with the hierarchy shit. Nothing gets done. But like when somebody's trying to be the hierarchy big king and then they end up getting shit on, like that's the problem.
Any question?
In the event a female officer in your squad complains that her side partner has sexually harassed her, you should A, notify the commanding officer, B, notify the shift lieutenant, or C, notify the ranking female officer.
I go with D. Yeah, bitch slap the side partner for dipping into my private stock, and take Missy home and fuck her till she smiles.
This is how sexual harassment happens.
My fear is there's a dude out here really like this.
Right?
Like,
What do you mean? There are dudes like that.
I'm sorry for you.
It's definitely, dude. No, they're there. You know, people are learning. They're getting better-ish, maybe. I don't know. But they're there.
No, things have gotten better, but there's a long way to go still. But
yeah.
Price creates a large change, then demand is said to be elastic. Some products are inelastic, meaning a change in price does not affect demand.
like drugs.
Mr. Bell.
Desire, human need.
Right, specifically the ability of a
macroeconomics.
Everybody's taking tests. Same shit. Trying to come up in the ranks. We should do a thing with the normies where we all try to take like a standardized high school test and see who does the best.
Bro, I fail.
I'm down.
I will fail.
I hate math is a foreign language to me. I'll never understand.
Motherfucker, you're Arabic.
Math.
Y'all invented algebra.
I can't do it.
And that other fool there, they the only ones might be trouble.
I'ma drop Scott, you just dropped the other motherfucker.
No, just Scar.
Wish Bird was here, man. Bird be loving this shit right here.
This dude remind me, get up out of here. He did drop that shit down the storm drain.
I never understood how you could be in the gang, work a corner, and not be paranoid 24/7 just around.
Seriously.
Be like, yeah, man, people over in the car would have been sitting for a minute.
Right.
Oh, hell
We're
no.
doing a pincer maneuver here.
I love when thugs get tactical.
Right.
People be like, oh, you need to do the gangster shit. And they be like, nah, man.
No, man, flank around from the other side.
Oh, the poor cat. Don't shoot the cat.
Why would they shoot the cat?
By accident.
Whoa!
Oh, shit, Omar coming!
Right.
Woo!
Nah. You got balance, man. Get your aim right.
Whoa.
Oh my god, he's whistling too now.
Hey, he's a weirdo, but I love that shit. Like,
Omar here just fucking shit up, bro.
Come at the king, best not miss.
God, shotgun to the chest. You're not walking away from that. He was up on top of his ass too with the double barrel. God.
That's the last thought.
That fucks us. We had Stinkum tied up with the boat from the rest of the run, and now he's out of the case. Man's a fucking loose cannon. We gotta pull his ass up at least.
It's a dime on this cocksucker's head. When you motherfuckers need to step up.
10K.
You put out the word. It's 10 on Omar or any motherfucker that's standing with Omar. Y'all niggas ain't got shit to do but be on this motherfucking hunt.
You deal with Omar, man. I'm not dealing with him.
Saying this shit got personal. Ain't nothing else to it. What you talking about letting it slide? I'm saying we put the word out that you ready to talk a truce. When this nigga come out from underneath his rock, you hit that nigga. But right now, this shit got out of hand, y'all.
What happened to the woman's dead body?
What happened to who?
The dead body. It was in the car, right?
What? No, that was like 2 episodes ago.
No. The one that he raped dead.
Oh, that girl?
Oh, yeah, they probably got rid of her.
That was just glossed over.
I don't know nothing about Sting getting dropped, and I don't know nothing about Bay taking one in the leg either.
We had Sting caught up with 4 G-packs on a Rhea. Maybe we could have built something on top of that. Roll him up as string of me.
Now he's got no road to it. The point is, Omar, while we're all grateful for the case you gave us on Bird, and we all have a certain admiration for your do-it-yourself nature.
Motherfuckers DIY.
Hey, look, man, it ain't all up to me, right? I got a bounty on my head.
Omar's Black Punisher, from what I'm realizing.
Pretty much.
Bro.
Lester, are we still cops? Technically, I suppose so. Okay, I was just checking.
This ain't called us even.
This game, thing with my uncle, may not be right for me, I'm thinking. You got people using each other?
Bro, stressed eating.
Smashing chocolate cake and a fucking Schweppes.
You get to sometime like I can't even fucking breathe.
Do something else.
You happy with your job? Other than that, do something else.
I am. I'm gonna have to. You'll stay pretty forever.
Are you pretty now?
Oh, boo.
Now we pretty.
Double boo.
Pretty Titty City.
Yo, G, man, raise up and roll ahead quick. Stink been got, man. You hear me? They got Stink.
Well, thus ends this episode of Kitchen Sex.
Omar was the shooter.
Fuck me. Anton Artis' Stinkum was one of the boys who snatched Brandon and did him up. I'm sure that motherfucker had his reasons, Jimmy, but yeah, but you want to get back the gang case, then you go tell Cole the name of his shooter. Otherwise, you tell him we're getting some talk on the wire, and we'll give him his clearance once we wrap our case. But you won't. No, we won't. Do you want me to go and bullshit Cole out of his case for you, huh? Why don't you go and tell him yourself? You kidding? Rawl sees my fingerprints on this and run my nuts through a cheese grate.
Ooh. That's how we start threatening Mahid, yo.
Fuck you, Jimmy.
Fuck you, Jimmy's a common theme.
Right?
In a relationship.
You should, yeah, dark horse.
He's happy, huh?
Yeah. I feel like he's gonna just no. You married?
Jimmy.
You're married.
Call Nadine and tell her I called when I'm out on the street.
He's married? Ah, shit. This player still got game.
No.
I lied for you, didn't I?
Ooh, that's not the same.
Damn right, he lied for you, bro. He did lie for you.
Pat with the cosign.
Think about it, fuck something up. I'm interviewing Omar. He tells me if we catch up the bird, have the gun on him.
Which he does.
The thing is, I told him that we needed an eyeball witness.
At which point he volunteers. Well, maybe he saw it.
Or maybe he put himself in it just to see Bird locked up. I fucked up, didn't I?
Well, a little. The gun matches. And he's consistent with our witness on description and scenario. So don't sweat it. Interrogation is more art than science.
He's so awesome.
This cop is dropping some lessons over here.
He's my favorite, literally.
Straight gem. No.
Get this crazy bastard out of here.
What's the matter?
He set off the smoke alarm twice.
What the fuck? What are you doing? Where are your fucking clothes? You burn your clothes for me.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, hair, fiber.
To hide the evidence from his wife.
Trace evidence. No, buddy. I don't smell no pussies anymore. Shit, I think you're just taking it home.
Oh my god. Or, bro, Omar's so scary. He's 10 steps ahead of them.
Bro, he's pure street chaos.
Every time he gets in the police station, he's just gathering more evidence.
Right?
He's smart. He's playing the police. He's looking at their evidence and all that shit so you can, come out the win.
Bro, he's a solid black Frank Castle to me right now.
Hey, Jimmy, you know
He
something?
fits the bed perfectly.
You're no good for people, man. I mean, damn, everybody around you. Right.
I mean,
Bro,
he could have told him, hey, no, you're married, man. Like, pushed him.
No, I mean that's no. Why? Why?
Right.
No. All I wanted to say, Rhoda, if a boy comes up and tells me he got my back, I got his back. Come on, we're bros. No pop blocking out here. Shit. Come on.
No. You gotta be like, you have his back,
You
maybe.
tell your
It's
married
it's
friend
fucking
to
wrong.
go.
But you have to be like, gotta convince him a little. Like, bro, you got a wife. Are you
Look,
sure?
I'm just gonna say, off tops, if
Should
I'm
not do
out
it.
here and I'm having a shit date, I'm about to cheat on my wife, y'all better let me do it if it's like a badass threesome with like.
Bro, hey, listen. I will let you cheat on your wife whenever you want to. That's
Serena
your own
Williams
decision.
and fucking Rihanna.
That was
I'm gonna
not worth
recommend a different plan of action, but
Like-
you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
Like, his conscience was so bad, like, immediately. He's like, I'm burning all his clothes because of the pussy.
Right. He knew.
This guy, pussy residue. Drunk ass bunk is like every single one of my uncles.
Can you find his logic?
I love drunk ass punk.
He wouldn't have gotten caught.
So, all right, man.
Oh my
let's
God,
see.
fucking bunked it.
We
No,
got
this
McNulty using
his
kids.
children in the beginning of the episode as a chase and follower tag and bat. What
Well
was
done. They're well-trained children. They're like good puppies or whatever you do for kids.
Which is McNulty, and then I like how it still ends with like Bunk being like, McNulty, you ain't no good for people, cause like he is a damn good cop, but he is not good at much else. Like, I'm sorry, it's not a good dad tag.
That is the worst father shit I saw right there. Like, you know who the hell Stringer is and the Stringer is and what the stuff he's capable of. You think just because you got two kids following him, he's not gonna try to kidnap them or beat their ass or something?
I mean, it wouldn't make any logical sense for him to do that. Like,
But he,
right.
But
the outright rules is you always see that they don't like try to mix or do shit to the cops because they know how it is. You kidnap, like you saw what happened when Bodie punched one cop.
Yeah.
If you kidnap the cop's kids, they would Guantanamo Bay your ass.
Yeah, they would.
It's just unsafe. They could have got stolen. They could have like got something. I don't know. The kid when he crossed the street to get the license plate, he could have got run over.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, but it's like he's got that trust in his kids that they're not gonna get hit by a car. Kind of like my parents let us play on the street. You know, what I mean?
Curveball.
You know how smart your kid is, kind of deal. But
Indianapolis.
He was so proud, just like my own flesh and blood wrote this shit.
He's like, the kid's growing up to be a cop, like officially.
Right.
Oh my god, it was great. No, that was a good part.
That's true.
Speaking of kids, you know, Wallace is just up in his room right now.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for him because he has like so much potential, like, and like I also felt bad about that scene because the other kid, like the kid couldn't count like simple elementary math, you know.
So I
but
think
like could count other stuff in his head because he doesn't want to be fucking killed.
That's one of the problems that like, growing up, like in the hood, like. Math would be hard, but you'd always see people using math in plenty of like reasonable ways that made sense. But then when you try to apply it to something that doesn't exactly make sense to their lives, they have a hard time like putting it together. So it's like practical math. Like all of my teachers would be like, "You're so good at music. How come you're not good at math?" And I'd be like, "I know you guys say that music and math go together, but like it's dividing by 2 most of the time. So like you're wrong." So like I see that as like more condemnation of like, I don't know, just like people's methods of trying to teach people shit, you know what I mean? Because if you can if you can make math relatable, then like people have an easier time like understanding it.
I mean, if you could do that, that's great because I cannot understand math. Like I'm like 30 years old and math is like the least thing I will like ever excel in my opinion. Like
I got decent at geometry because the teacher was like, "You can use this to build stuff," and I was like, that is a fair point. Like I might want to.
You're gonna need math in your whole life.
Like if you're gonna build a picture frame, you need to learn perimeters and shit. You know what I mean? Like that's mildly important. But like
hated that.
Algebra 2 though, like the imaginary eye, like when's the last time you used the quadratic formula?
Never, but for some reason I was great at algebra 2. Like I was.
Dude, algebra was the shit, bro. Because all it is formulas. You just got to follow the room. You just got to follow the rules. You just got to follow the.
It helps you find shit out. Like I can just be like, oh no, we need this, this, and this. Well, that'll do.
Hey, X over is X over of.
But I felt bad for the kid because he was like, it's a kid. He's like, I'll be murdered. Like I know I'll be me at my age. I'll be popped. It's like also
he
like
said
a
they'll
fear.
fuck you up if you get the count wrong.
Yeah, like it's also just like a fear in him too, and that just like sucks. Like I feel bad for the kid. So like Omar's house was after raided and everything. Like and he just watched it from the window.
Watched it from. You don't give a fuck about it.
Mark Stinkum.
God, like so you heard earlier when they went out to the food place that he was like, yeah, Stinkum gonna get points on the package. We just gotta run off these boys on the corner. They some off-brand niggas, yada yada yada. And Omar probably been following them all week.
Yep.
He's like, I ain't done shit all week but follow y'all.
And I love that. Like,
saw him setting up, and he was like, "I'm gonna set up right here too."
And
taking territory.
I don't know if you guys noticed when Omar went into the police station or whatever you want to call that station that they all work out of, like the
little police cave.
Yeah. Police cave, that bulletin board, like where they have all the evidence and the pictures of surveillance. Yeah, he was really like taking he was like really trying to memorize that. Like he went in there to try to get information from the cops versus vice versa. The cops were trying to get information on him, but he was actually trying to get information from the cops, and so he could turn it around, play it in to actually take that use tools and resources and play it on the streets, and that's what he's doing. And that is the way why he's able to be so ahead because he's actually playing the cops. The cops are not playing him. And low key, Omar's trying to become my favorite right now because of the way he's playing the cops.
Yeah. He's out here, bro.
Omar's playing for himself. He's batting for his own.
Oh yeah, he is. He's playing the cops so well. Like the cops think that they're playing him, but he's playing him so well. Like he's not going to give the cops shit. He's going to take the empire, make his empire bigger and better, and take Barksdale out of there. That's his goal: is to take Barksdale out there with the cops' help, and he's going to have that empire. And like that's a smart ass move.
How many shotguns do you think he has to buy per year? Because like every time you pop somebody, you got to get a whole new one. Like
because the whole
understanding was that he's still using the same gun because like when they were talking about it, they were circling around the fact that they know he did it. And he was like, "Oh, I don't know nothing about the exact facts of this operation and what happened."
He's like, "Might want to get rid of the gun too," because they know he carried that double barrel with him. They probably like, "Oh, Bird looks like he was shot in the chest with a shotgun, double barrel, probably." Wonder who did that.
Right,
bro. He came out like Batman in the night out of nowhere. It was like I had to like do a double take of what the fuck was happening.
He was just like, "What up?"
And then that fucking whistle, bro. That whistle is scary as fuck.
That shit is so
whistling. Oh.
Farmer in the Dale.
I would be terrified if someone starts singing, like just whistling a happy tune. I'm like, no, I'm getting murdered. Right? They're gonna come around this car and shoot me in my other leg.
So also,
fuck Bay though. Fuck Bay. Should have shot Bay too.
Yeah.
Dude, you raped a girl. She died, and you disposed of her wrongly. I fucking hate you, Bay. I hope you die soon.
I think there's a correlation between when they were in the car talking about the plan of
like disposing. Her body was in the car.
No, not the girls. Of the like shoot him on the corner. I'm gonna go around so when he runs off, basically we'll either catch him or we'll let him run back and tell the others basically.
Yeah.
I think Omar shot dude, let Bay run back to let them know because this is what he wants, basically causing shit. Like,
also, like I mean, Bay was holding down, like he was covering himself with the pistol pretty well, so Omar wouldn't have been able to get close. He got covered behind the car, so he's like, I popped him at least, so wasn't even that much of an issue. But yeah, that is a good correlation. So they got Day leaving out the towers with 20,000.
Bro, fuck that shit. I'm just saying, like, okay, I understand, like, if a cop pulls you over in a shady situation like that, they had every reason to pull him over and like keep the money. Like, I don't know what the hell the deputy's up to and everything.
Yeah.
But like in general, like if I could be at 30K. Or
so let's say you were gonna go buy a car off of Craigslist, 30K, right? Cash, front seat of your car. You get pulled over by the cops. The cops legally can be like, what are you using this money for? And if you're like, I'm going to go buy a car, and they don't believe you, let's say the car smells like weed.
Yeah.
That's enough probable cause for them to be like, I'm taking your 30,000.
That's the type of shit I don't like.
I feel like the only way they can take my money is if I give them a reason to. But if I'm telling them I'm going to go buy something, like they cannot not just believe me.
The probable cause is that it smells like weed in your car.
Okay, but if it didn't smell like weed and they don't believe me, then that's fucked up.
Yeah, what if they say it smells like weed? How will you prove that it doesn't smell like weed in a court of law?
Man, they're gonna make me go fucking tag my money and prove that was my car from fucking.
Oh, even if you prove it was yours, you still have to prove how you got it.
That is the one reason. That is the one reason I just don't get. It's like how can you prove how you got that money? Because like legit, like what Chris says, like taxes. But everyone pays taxes. So if you want to find out how much money I'm worth, just go check my fucking tax statement. But there's also what you could get taxes. But there's also people who give people money. Like family relatives, sometimes give you $20K just like that, or something.
You'll have to have that relative write a letter or some shit.
You could have won it gambling.
Yeah,
so literally at a casino.
And then
but you can have proof to all that stuff.
No, you can't. No, so like here's the thing.
I'm not proof casino money.
Yeah, how you gonna prove the casino money?
A voucher or whatever.
You were at the casino. There's
right,
like videotapes or receipts.
Yeah, when you catch your chips in, don't you
don't just
No.
You have to cash
So
it out, right?
there's that, but so there's when you went and be like a big ass hand, like a higher table, shit like that. There's receipts, but there's only a certain amount of receipts. Like you could walk away with a casino with unclaimed cash. If you win at a big table,
you could have also saved it over 10 years.
But you're less like if you live in Vegas, you're less likely to get pulled over some bullshit like that.
Yeah,
and you're leaving a known drug spot where a known drug dealer got in your car and we have photo evidence and he just handed you.
Well, in this case specifically, they should have took that. That was it. They got this motherfucker like.
So we're just saying there's some dirty ass cops and y'all better not be like saying it smells like weed when it don't be smelling like weed. But
I got 10 G's in my car. I might be smoking a blunt. That's a glorious time for me.
That sounds like a nice weekend.
I hope that rule's still not around because that's an unfair rule.
Oh, that is definitely around.
Man. I think the last time.
Dude, if a cop can get you for anything, like just to like have to like something at the end of the month, you know they're gonna do it. And I'm just being cop like hater right now.
No, I mean fuck that rule. It's a stupid fucking rule.
It is.
I don't agree with it. In this case right here, it makes sense. But to just go around harassing motherfuckers for fucking acids. Anyway, all that shit aside. So fucking Burrell went off on Daniels, and then McNulty was like, "Daniels, what they got on you?" Like that's.
I think he does have something on him, doesn't he?
Yeah, that was my question.
Because he went home to his wife.
The FBI said they got something on.
No, man, he went home to his wife and he was like, McNulty asked me what he did.
Yeah, and the wife grabbed his hand.
Scene.
And then the wife grabbed his hand and like tried to comfort him. So I definitely think there's something on him, but I don't think it's something on him that way we're thinking in our heads. It's gonna be like something like outrageously bad, like that's bad on Daniels. I think Daniels did something in betterment of the team. He took one for the bullet. He took a bullet for the team or for the department. That made him look bad. I don't think it was like him scheming or being purposeful. I think it was brought down onto him, and he just took it as a bullet. Then him actually.
Or maybe
scheming.
he like moved up in ranks for like some.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I love it. The part where he's like, if you follow the drugs, you get drug dealers. He's like, if you follow the money, you don't know who you get. If you guys remember, we saw Senator Clay Davis in the last episode, the episode at the party where we met Day at. So. Like, just talking, being like, yeah, like, that's suspicious as fuck. Can you imagine being a fucking senator and being like, yeah, I just got 20,000 from, you know, he's just gonna be like, I don't know, man. Who knows where
that shady politics shit right there.
My driver bought it by
politics.
I'm so proud of
Fucking
McNulty and
politics,
Kima going
Yeah.
to Shay, what's his name?
Phelan.
Phelan, and just like, dude, who's your daddy for real?
He called up Burrell, called him Irv. He's like, nah, Irv.
Right,
He's like, you
first
trying to
name.
fuck me, kiddo. Like, he just like, God. Burrell's usually like the worst one. And this motherfucker calls him up, calls him by his first name, calls him kiddo, and just fucking shits on him. He's like, yeah, nah, man. He's like, we got fucking 40 days on this shit, or 60 days on this shit. We
Yeah,
don't get our
run
20
me my
days.
20 days, sucker.
That's some like hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
Yeah. That's the only time I want to work right. But I don't believe. I think the police station or any sort of like governmental situation should have a hierarchy like that, because like nothing gets done. Like if you're just dependent on hierarchy to set everything to get shit done, nothing will ever get done because you have to wait for them.
It only.
And like
But I
they
mean, the
take
police-
everything.
Values.
Yeah, but the police operate like with like almost like a military chain of command, because like I think that, I don't know, when you're running operations and shit like that, when you got so many moving parts, like you have to have a hierarchy in order to get shit done. Otherwise, like no one's accountable for anyone. I know that police accountability is still, but the idea is supposed to be that like if you fuck up, like everyone knows who their direct supervisor is because cops carry guns and can kill citizens. So like we need a hierarchy in order to know like who's fucked up and whose fault it is and who it rolls all the way back up to. The same shit they try to do with the drug dealers when they catch somebody and try to roll him back up to the drug dealer that's responsible for him. It's supposed to be the same way that if a cop fucks up, we're able to roll that cop back up to whoever is responsible for him. So that way, if there's a problem inside of the whole entire situation, it can be solved right. But
No. I totally agree with like there needs to be a hierarchy, but I feel like in like maybe just in the police or maybe right now, like it's just hard to have hierarchy because the police is such a fraternity. Like hierarchy is not going to exist. It's not going to be working properly. Like if one of your like partners fucks up, you're not going to tattle on him. You're not going to do whatever. So what's the point of having hierarchy? And if the hierarchy like we just noticed here, like the hierarchy only cares about the bottom line and the numbers, not actually care about the general wealth of that city or the county. And if it trickles down, then that shit would never get done. If the hierarchy person only cares about the numbers, not care about the betterment of the city, then the city's going to suffer, and then it's going to trickle down.
I think it's also too because technically the people at the top of the hierarchy are damn near politicians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't we vote in? I can't remember the specific police portion that we vote for, but that person, if like I know we vote for sheriff of like the county and shit, but like that person is a politician, and like he's got a campaign and run and all that. So like he doesn't. Obviously, a sheriff wants the neighborhoods to be the safest as possible, but also he needs the overall numbers to look well. So I do think you're right, Pat. There's probably definitely a better way to go about it, but yeah. Fucking knows.
True.
Oh, and old dude, Stringer in school.
Yeah.
Stringer's in a business class. He's really out here.
Macroeconomics.
And also trying to run a normal business.
Hey, low-key, I'm actually proud of Stringer. Like Stringer, that's some dope shit. Like you're in this like, you know, business that no one appreciates or everyone thinks the underground drug whatever business is like whatever, but then you're out there trying to understand economics, understand micro and macro economics, understand how you can apply that to your drug business, and apply all that teachings and knowledge to the other business. That's dope shit, bro. And then to do that, to do that, that's good initiative right there.
Yeah,
Trying to apply
and
himself.
he wants to leave all that.
And you also heard him say too. He said that people getting killed. He was like, it's like the worst part of the game when he was talking to Avon. He was like, we should put out a truce, but. Like, Avon, too, I think, in a certain way, not a politician is that he has to be voted for, but, like, a politician as in, like, his image matters.
Yeah.
And you can't be bitch made, so,
yeah.
I mean, they're going to have to, like, obviously, like, you can't just have a truce with Omar.
But at the same time, he's, the truce definitely, he's not going to go for that shit. But thinking about Stringer running the business, I think he's trying to open up another front, but it has to be a legitimate business, and that is the part of the gang side that they like never get to see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Orlando's technically in the life, but he's just the dude who owns the club. He has to run a successful business so that it looks like no questions asked. We could be running a lot of money in and out of here type shit. Like,
and I understand too, because that part also is fucked up. Because if you're doing that, like you can't hire a civilian.
Yep.
So like
you can't.
get the issues.
Yeah.
You get the issues that you get with Orlando being like Orlando wants to move weight, and it's like. Bro, that's not your fucking.
That is such a good ass point because it's kind of like right now there's like like if you think about there's businesses out there too like who are like come from like overseas, and then they try to like run a business and they try to be profitable, but they don't want to hire people in America because because with taxes and you got to pay more. So they bring families over from from overseas and then like run their business, and it's again pure like a lot more profit. You pay less, you have a lot more profit. But then having people from overseas come in here working for you in this situation is going to be a lot difficult because the English barrier, the communication barrier, and problems.
Yeah, but also if they're like friends and family.
But
if they fuck you over, like it's not like you can be like, oh, like I'm gonna take your ass to court because like we're friends and family. Like
exactly. So like that's what I'm trying to say. Like with the drug business, the same thing. It's like when you can legitimately get somebody from the NBA or because they know your ins and outs of the business, and if you bring somebody over and they screw you over, you can't take them to court or any of that shit. So it sucks.
Or if you hired like a really good manager, like you did an interview process, and that motherfucker finds out you're selling drugs, he can extort you easily. Or just snitch and like, so you're like, fuck, I gotta hire somebody from the street, but also I'm gonna have to deal with street issues.
Yeah. Because there's like, fuck them. It's like, no,
right?
Don't you need to come and print paper here.
There's a real business. Like, leave that street shit out of here. He was like, bro, what are y'all doing? He was like, fuck it. Like,
hey, Chris, would you take that truce with Omar? And if you're Avon and Omar, would you guys take?
Hell no.
I would honestly, if I was Avon and Stringer told me, hey, let's do this truce, and then once he comes out, you could take him out. I would have done that. Because that's perfect.
I would literally try to lure Omar. I try to set up like a honeypot. Like
that's what I'm saying. A honeypot.
I would make like a stash that's like I wouldn't make it super obvious, but I would keep like fucking up on a certain. Like I'd be like, look, y'all, I need to like. I'd be putting the hitters there. I'd be like, we're gonna have a situation that's gonna make us look easily robbable. Not super easy, but just enough to lure Omar in. And when he come through the door, fucking
blast this sucker.
Right, like grenade his ass. Like I would be like. Like, they found his house, they kicked the door in and all that. Like, they were too eager, man. They should have sat on it. Mm-hmm. They know Omar plays the game slow. And they ran into his house. They're like, hell yeah, we're going to set some shit on fire and fuck some shit up. And it's like, y'all thought you were going to get Omar like that? Like, I think if you want to catch Omar, you need to think like Omar and play the game as slow as he does.
But I think Stringer is right. Like, you should, like, he says he's too involved. Like, this now got personal, like, between Omar and Avon. Like, now they're losing, like, hey, you're losing assets, you're losing your employees because they're just dying left and right. You lost a lot of your product and stuff. I think it got personal, but I agree with Stringer. Like, if you call this off and say it's a truce, I think shit could get back to normal. And when shit gets back to normal and the truce is there and like Omar scars down, that's when you take him out. Like I think Stringer had the right plan. I don't know why Avon, the way it goes.
Because Avon, he's trying to look hard.
Yeah.
I don't think Omar gonna go for no truce anyway. Like it's.
Omar's not dumb.
That's true. That's true. It's gonna take two people to make that truce happen. So that's true.
Oh yeah. Well, y'all, we're gonna catch you on the next episode. We'll see you there. Serge and Marquetta won't be there. They'll be there in the episodes after. We're also gonna make sure that they obviously catch up on these. Duh. And now Micky's gonna talk. Bye.
Okay, The Wire 1x8. Let's talk about it. Very, very packed episode. Very action-packed episode. Quote is, "Come at the king, you best not miss." One of the best quotes from The Wire, if not the best quote. And what's crazy is 1x7, the quote was, "A man must have a code," and then 1x8 is, "Come at the king, you best not miss," which are like two of the most quintessential Wire quotes. When people quote the show, both of those quotes definitely come up, and I had no idea that we got those back to back and in season 1. Anyways, episode starts out, McNulty, hey, look at him, he's being a dad, he's hanging out with the kids, taking them shopping, talking to him, bought him a lemonade, and he's using his kids to spy on a drug lord. So, yeah, almost McNulty. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's getting harder to sympathize with McNulty's kid situation now because he is just way too married to his job to have time to be a father or even the willingness or the desire to be a father. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't love his children. Of course, he loves his children. I just don't know how much he loves being a dad as opposed to how much he loves being a police officer. Because, one, he's using his kids in a very probably nothing was going to happen, but what if String caught on to what was happening? Or what if somebody was, bodyguarding Sting and watching from afar of what was like any number of things could have happened. And McNulty put his kids in a very dangerous situation, lost track of them, and then when he's talking to the manager about the kids being lost, the guy asks him what were they wearing, and McNulty's like, clothes. He's not attentive. Like, how do you not know what your kids are wearing? You know what I mean? Like, how do you forget that detail? So even when that line is there to show that, like, even when he's with them, he's not there. He's not present. He's not paying attention to his kids. It's kind of, I don't know, man. I think he's kind of just doing it out of obligation. I don't know. That might be the wrong word to use. He wants to be in his kids' lives. That's apparent. He loves his kids, but I think he loves his job more. I think he likes being a police officer more because we've seen him have bursts of moments where he's like, playing with his kids and involved with his kids, but then as soon as like his phone rings or any element of police work comes into play, everything else goes out the window. You know what I mean? And I think McNulty needs to either develop the ability to say, okay, I will deal with that later, I'm with my kids right now, or just admit to yourself, bro, that maybe you shouldn't have 50-50 custody. Maybe this should just be a relationship of you going to visit your kids every now and then, so you can stay in their lives, but you got to admit to yourself that it's either the job or managing time with your kids plus the job, but you can't, like, he's trying to do it all at once. Even later in the episode when he's bragging to Bunk, he's like, yeah, man, I had my kids follow them, and my kid got the license plate number, and Bunk is just looking at him like, you did what? Like, and McNulty's like, what's wrong with that? And he doesn't see the fault in his actions, so that's concerning because we've seen him put his kids in very questionable situations multiple times now. But they did get Stringer's license plate, so we'll talk about that in a second. Freeman and gang are talking about the payphones being ripped out, so I think they're starting to learn just how cautious the criminals are, and Barksdale and his crew are, and just what lengths they're willing to go to keep themselves safe, because those payphones were a very convenient line of communication, and they were willing to just rip those out without question. So I think, again, Freeman is talking about what we were discussing last episode is like, what are the police supposed to do? Every time they take a step forward, they make the other side so paranoid that they completely switch up their tactics and completely switch up the games, and then we're back to having to try to figure out what it is they're doing before we can attack again. But they still have the phones functional at the tower, and they have Stringer's beeper number, which of course, that helped them get to Day, which we'll talk about in a second. But we saw Carver and Herc studying for the sergeant exam, the sergeant test. I guess they're trying to become sergeant, so they're kind of climbing up the ladder. And I kind of didn't place this before, but Carver and Herc, they're younger cops. They're not necessarily new blood, but they're younger, as opposed to Polk and, what was that other guy's name that fell down the stairs? I'm blanking on his name, but we saw the progression of what it's like to be a young cop like Carver and Herc, and they're just freshly in the game, and they're just like, they're all about it. They're studying for the test, they're climbing that ladder, as opposed to when you see the older cops, and they're just like, I'm just waiting for my pension, man. But anyways, they're studying, and Herc gives no fucks about it. It was kind of a little bit of comic relief with that little storyline going on this episode, where Herc was like, dude, it's common sense. Feed me a question. I got it. Okay, according to Q1, and Herc is like, whoa, what the fuck? Whoa. So, I don't know. Herc is not taking it as seriously, and you see their demeanor when they're taking the test. Like, Carver's like super, just very stressed out, and Herc is just like, okay, sure. So it'll be interesting to see what their test results come back as. And we see Weebay, Stink, and I don't know who the other dude was, the guy with like the fisherman cap and the mustache. I don't know if his name's been revealed yet. But anyways, they went to Omar's house and tore everything apart, lit fire to his van. Meanwhile, Omar is just across the street at the lady's house that he helped out earlier in the season. And I think I misinterpreted that earlier scene, because she comes up to Omar and she was asking him or she told him that her check hadn't cleared yet and she was asking him for help. And I thought that he was just helping her out with money to help pay her bills or whatever. But she was right there shooting up in this scene. So now I'm thinking that he probably just gave her a front on the drugs. And I think I kind of misinterpreted that scene. But that's fucked up because like Omar's holding the baby. Meanwhile, the mom is like shooting up. And she's like, you want the rest of this? No? Oh, okay. It's messed up. It's just a very unflinching reality in situations like that because you feel for that baby. And that baby's going to grow up, and he's going to begin to comprehend the situation around him and his mom being an addict, and it's just a vicious cycle upwards. Like, it's just, that kid is fucked from the start, and he's just going to end up in this game, you know? A lot of people live and die in communities like Baltimore, and they never know anything outside of that. The cards are stacked against them from the beginning, you know, when they're toddlers. Like, how can a toddler defend itself from their environment around them? They can't. So it's messed up to see. We finally cut to Wallace. He's in bed, probably coming down from getting high the night before. He's very severely depressed, but another kid comes and helps him, or asks him to help him with the math homework. And again, we see Wallace's intelligence working here because he reads that problem and he's like, bro, just do it in your head. What's the problem here? And again, it's just showing that Wallace is this really bright kid, smart kid. He's not even in school. He's not going to school, but he's a self-learner. It was kind of sad because the other kid didn't understand it until Wallace put it into drug terms for him. He's like, okay, forget about the bus. Let's think about it in vials. And the kid was able to keep up, and he was like, I could keep up because if you get the count wrong, they fuck you up. So again, this is a child. That kid was like, what, like under 10, maybe 10, 11? And he's managing math homework, but also a life on the side where he's dealing vials to dope heads on a daily basis. And if he does anything wrong, he gets his ass kicked. And this is a kid we're talking about. So again, the cards are stacked completely against kids in these communities from the jump. Like, they have no fucking chance. They have no chance. By the time they develop a voice, they're adults. And they're looked at differently. They're looked at as lifelong criminals. And nobody gives a shit about what happened to them when they were babies. You know what I mean? It's a vicious cycle. But anyways, I'm worried for Wallace. You know, Poot's trying to help him out. Poot talked to D'Angelo, and Wallace is supposed to go see D. I'm really worried for Wallace, because he's like, he completely, after the whole Brandon thing, he just nosedived. You know, I think all the stress that was building on him probably throughout the years, I think that bubble has popped, and I'm just very concerned for him. So then they pick up the phone call from Strings Beeper, where we find out that 20 grand from the tower is being dropped to Day Day, who is Senator Clay Davis's driver. And if you guys didn't pick up on that, they mentioned Davis's name several times throughout the episode. So we are able to make those connections, at least, is that Day Day is Senator Davis's driver, and Day Day has just picked up $20,000 in cash from the tower where heroin is sold in the city. Now, does that connect Senator Clay Davis to the money? No, because we know that Day Day is a criminal. In the last episode, he was very casually talking about breaking and entering with Daniels, and so we know he's a criminal, probably a career criminal. So it doesn't connect Senator Clay Davis to the money, but then why would Reed from IID come down, and why would Burrell come down so hard and tell him to give the money back? That's kind of sus, dude. And Burrell even says, you're getting into people's business where you're not supposed to be. And he says that to Daniels. What is that supposed to mean? It's getting a little sus. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but there were some really quotes from Daniels when he's talking with Marla later, where he's like, you know, you follow drugs, you'll get a drug case. You start following the money and you don't know where you're going. And another quote is, that's why they don't want wiretaps or anything else they can't control, because once the tape starts rolling, who knows what's going to be said. Something really big is at work here. This picture is getting a lot bigger now. This is we're going out of the pit and it's just expanding into something crazy. And I don't know what it is yet, but the cards are being set up for something massive. And now you're starting to see how everything is connected. And Weebay, Stink, and whoever that third guy was, they go pick up D and they go celebrate at the sandwich shop, and they're just celebrating. And Weebay's talking about, Stink opened up a new territory. He's got points, which I don't know what that exactly means. I can speculate that it means like a bonus. Stink got a bonus for doing a good job. And Weebay's like, hey, man, you keep running the pit that good, you're going to get some points too. So again, the culture of being rewarded for your hard work in the drug empire. You do your job, you're going to get taken care of. Versus in the police, where Daniels is like, we caught Day Day, and he's the senator driver, and he was caught with $20,000 worth of drug money, and Burrell's like, shut it down. Fuck you, shut it down. So you do your work in the police, and you're shut down. You do your work in the drug empire, you're moving up, baby. You're going to eat good. And D brings up Orlando, as he obviously would. Dude, Orlando has to be the dumbest person. Like, what are you... The only reason he's not dead is because Barksdale needs him. He is the clean name for the strip club. He's the person on the papers. But I swear, if he wasn't on any papers and he tried to pull a side hustle, he'd be dead. He would have been gone. Orlando has to be one of the dumbest people. You're trying to set up a secret side hustle and you go to the nephew of the guy that writes all of the checks. Like, I don't know what you expected, man. I'm kind of jumping around here, but after Daniels has the meeting with Burrell and Reed, McNulty and him get into it, and this is where McNulty kind of brings up some interesting points. He's like, because Daniels is talking about the chain of command this, chain of command that, but then McNulty straight calls him out. He's like, well, if chain of command mattered, you would have talked to this, and this person, but you didn't do that. The only person you talked to is Burrell. So what's up with that? And he's kind of starting to insinuate, the point earlier from, the FBI saying that Daniels is dirty. I think that's kind of what McNulty was kind of referring to. And even when Daniels was talking to his wife Marla, and he was like, yeah, McNulty fucking asked me that. And Marla was like, what did you say? And again, it was left unsaid, so it's still a mystery. I don't know. I think there's something there, but I don't know what it is. Thank the Lord for the judge. Again, the judge is keeping this case alive, and that was such a fantastic scene when he calls up Burrell and just puts the smack down on him. And, I think he's given the case another 20 days, because they had 60 days for the wiretap. They've spent about 40 of them, so he just kept them alive for 20 more days. But again, this shows you like how the system and the police works, is like they're not working as a unified team. It's like little pockets of police that are all working against each other, and they're interlocked with each other, and there's no communication, and it's just a huge shit show. Like the court's like, no, the court wants this, and Burrell's like, no, I want it shut down, and it's just a shit show, man. It's a daily shit show. And McNulty catches up with Stringer and follows him to community college, where Stringer is taking intro to macroeconomics. Holy shit. Whoa. Now we're starting to see elements of Stringer and his place in this business for Barksdale. This dude is straight going to college for business and then coming back and applying those things to the drug trade. That's crazy. That is crazy. And looks like they were trying to set up a front for some kind of a print shop, and the people working there are just like, yeah, whatever, dude. But String is like, no, this place has to run legit. It's a front, but it's got to run legit so nobody suspects anything. Los Pollos Hermanos, anybody? Is the same thing. Gus was running that shit like a... Now, Gus was smart enough not to employ people from his operation, so the staff had no idea what was going on. They just thought they were working at a restaurant. So I don't know, maybe Stringer should try that, hire normal people that are not part of the game, I guess. But I don't know, that was really cool because Breaking Bad is a fantasy show with elements of realism here and there, but this show is like straight up showing you reality, that okay, this heroin empire is starting a front, a very non-suspecting front, but they want that shit run tight so there's no suspects. I really wonder in my own life, have I ever walked into a business that was like a front? You would never know. You would never know. And then we get the action scene with Omar getting rid of Stinkum. Oh my God. I didn't even expect, dude, I don't remember that happening, and I didn't expect it. When it happened, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh shit. It was so good. That was such a good scene. And that's when the quote comes in, you know, you come with the king, you best not miss. And oh man, Stink is out of there. Weebay is injured. He lets Weebay live, which that was interesting to me. But again, he wants his legend to continue. Weebay is a big major player, and letting Weebay live allows Weebay to go back and tell everybody what happened, and also he's fucking injured. So Omar is like, yeah, I got you both, and I could have killed you, but I let you live. And that makes his lore that much more fearsome, because this story is going to travel into all nooks and crannies of the neighborhood, and this is just going to be another win under Omar's belt. You can see the strategy of why he might have let Weebay live. And it was funny because right after that, they cut to Barksdale, and it's a close-up on Barksdale, and he looks so pissed off, and he's just like, it's a dime on this motherfucker now. He looks so mad. Like, it was, but you know, things are getting super serious. It's getting heated, and at the end of that scene, Stringer, interestingly enough, he's like, man, I think we should, like, chill out. This is getting a little bit out of hand. And I almost see similarities between Wallace's philosophy and Stringer's philosophy, because I think Stringer even said this is the worst part of the game, and I think Stringer also has the mentality of let's sell the shit and move on. Let's not bring violence into this where it doesn't need to be. So it was interesting that he was like, hey, let's let this slide for now. We'll come back to it, but this shit's getting crazy. And on the flip side, you know, the cops bring Omar in, and they're telling him to chill out too, because everybody knows what happened, and this has greatly impeded the case. And it was just, again, it was funny seeing Omar kind of wiggle his way out of it, like, you know, kind of saying what he needed to say without saying it. And we had the party scene again. You know, Weebay was celebrating with, you know, all the boys were celebrating, and the girl Keisha that Weebay was with, she died. We saw earlier in the episode, and we don't know what happened to her, but obviously she died in a house full of hitmen, so they got rid of her. You know, she's gone. Keisha's gone. They're never going to see her again. She's disappeared. Who knows what happened to her, but just a fucked up casualty of the game, I suppose. And D admits it himself in this scene, where this is the first time he finally out loud verbalizes, I don't like this shit. This is not for me. And this is the first time he said it out loud to himself. And then right after that, he finds out that Stinkum died. And then Kima has a conversation with Freeman where she was like, did I fuck up with Bird? Because they used Omar's witness testimony, but obviously that was bullshit. So that was falsified testimony against Bird. And even though everything worked out, they matched the gun, they matched everything about the scene, and Bird is a complete shithead who probably should be put away. Even though everything worked out, I mean, Kima feels bad, as I feel like she should, because they didn't do things by the book, even though it was to put away somebody really, really bad. But the thing is, that same scenario happens to innocent people all the time. Like Freeman even said, he said, interrogations are more art than science. And this is why the very first thing the police say to you is you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. It doesn't mention anything about the flip side. It doesn't mention anything about, hey, you have the right to remain silent, but if you talk to us and your information works out, you know, we'll be cool and we'll be kosher and then you can be on your way. Doesn't say anything about that. All it says is anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. So if you're ever talking to the police, if you're ever caught up in any kind of a situation that you feel like is serious and you got nothing to do with it, even if you're completely fucking innocent, bro, like Day Day did in this episode, I would like to speak to my attorney. I would like a lawyer. Lawyer should be the only thing that comes out of your mouth. I'm not saying that all police is bad. I'm not saying that every interrogation goes this way, but you can see the police just want clearances, and sometimes they will bend the truth to get that clearance. The quicker we can solve this case, the quicker we can get to the next one. And you might get caught up in some shit that you never wanted to get caught up in. I've been on a Netflix binge of crime documentaries left and right, and it's the same story every single time. Somebody was psychologically manipulated by the police in the interrogation, and then they ended up in prison for 10, 20, 30, 40 years of their life. Like, it happens. It's real. And then at the end of the episode, towards the end, McNulty actually, it's interesting because now McNulty has to go to Bunk and say, hey, that new murder that you caught, I know who it is, but I need you to not do your job so I can do my job. So this is interesting because this whole time McNulty has been the one who has been running into obstacles and people have been trying to get him to not do his job properly, and now McNulty has to step into somebody else's life and tell them, hey man, I know the answer to your riddle, but I can't give it to you for the greater good. You know, I think the greater good is like the overall theme of this show to some degree. However, at least McNulty came to that department to communicate the problem. It was an example of two departments communicating with each other, letting each other know what's happening, even though, you know, he kind of did it through Bunk, but he let him know the situation and why things need to play out the way they need to play out, and now these two departments can work as a team towards the common goal. Even though McNulty said, I'm not going to give up Omar at the end because he's been super helpful, so, you know, whatever. We can argue, like, the specifics of it, but the overall point I'm trying to get to is there was communication between two teams that have nothing to do with each other, and they came to a conclusion and were able to move forward, and I think the police needs to do more of that. And in return, Bunk asks McNulty to you know, cover for him as he cheats on his wife and I guess has sex in a bathroom and then lights his clothes on fire. And he was like, Trace Lab's got nothing on me. I don't know if they were trying to say anything deeper with that scene, like burning evidence or whatnot. I don't think so. I think it was just kind of a funny scene. But then, you know, end of the episode, Bunk is going to bed and he's like, Jimmy, you're no good for people, or all the people around you. And I don't know. I mean, Jimmy's a good dude, man. Jimmy's good police, but yeah, he is kind of a shithead. But also, I don't think it's fair if Bunk is insinuating what happened to me tonight is your fault. That's not fair. That's Bunk's own choices that he made. But I think I kind of know what he's saying about Jimmy. Although I do feel like Jimmy's a really good person, but people around him do seem to get hurt. So that is all. That is my notes for 1x8. If you haven't done so already, please like the video, share the video, comment below, subscribe if you haven't done so, and definitely comment below. Let us know what you guys are thinking of the reactions and the show in general. Let's try to keep it spoiler free for a lot of the people that are experiencing this show for the first time. And yeah, we'll be down there commenting and replying to you guys. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Peace out.
Thanks for watching The Wire with the Normies. Check us out on Patreon for early access and uncut content. Special shout out to our super patrons Explorin' Dylan, Nick, Ruby, Aaron, Michael Henry, Joe, I Eat Pink Tacos, Flower House, Keyboard Junkie, the NYR Fan, and ZJP. And we will see you all next time.